Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Mariam Department of Biotechnology. Today is our group presentation date. Our group member 2%, me and Salva Kumar. My presentation topics name Prenatal Diagnosis. Diagnosis before birth. This diagnosis is very problem. Problems is pregnancy can be detected as easily possible growing and in some cases treated before birth, also known as an antenatal diagnosis. Ultrasound of the uterus, planes and or developing sonogram filter understanding image can help you healthcare provide evaluate your baby growth and development and monitor your pregnancy. In some cases, filter ultrasound is used to evaluate possible problem or help confirm a diagnosis. Turbulence ultrasonogram like device called a transforming is placed in our beginning to send our outside wipe the rather than reflection. Syndrome, sickle cell anemia, 96, febrile and Tesser's disease, CBS, performed yearly is pregnancy that amniocentesis. It is done between the 10 weeks and 30 weeks of pregnancy. Messaged from your last period, it is reported to be 98% to 99% accurate in detecting genetics abnormalities.
So, good evening to Madam Nabila and also my fellow classmates for today's presentation. We're going to talk about the prenatal diagnosis. As Mitu already explained what is prenatal diagnosis and the method used in prenatal diagnosis, I mean the first method, which is ultrasound. So now I'm going to continue by going for the chronic villus sampling, the second method, and the third one, there'll be one more. I'll go further in later. So for the chronic villus sampling CVS, it's obtained tissue from chromosome or biochemical analysis, and it detects chromosomal problems that can result in genetic disease and birth defects. So it involves taking a small sample part from the placenta, which is the CV. Okay, here the meaning of placenta they call it as chronic villus sampling. So that's why they call it as CV, where it is attached to the wall of the uterus. So CVS can diagnose chromosomal abnormalities that cause conditions like Down syndrome, cell sickle, cystic fibrosis, and Tay-Sachs disease. So CVS performed earlier in pregnancy than amniocentesis, and it is done between the period of 10 and 13 weeks of pregnancy, measured from the last menstrual period. So it is reported to be 98% to 99% accurate in detecting genetic abnormalities. So moving on to the next slide, I will show you the picture of the CVS, which is the catheter inserted through the vagina into uterus to sample daily of placenta. So here you can see more fetal cells and earlier in pregnancy. So this is how they're gonna get to know that there is any disease or not from the CVS sampling. So I'll go for the third thing, which is amniocentesis. The next slide lah. Okay, here in the slide, I'll read for you the amniocentesis and its meaning. Amniocentesis may be performed for chromosome analysis or the detection of genetic defects and condition in the fetus. So it obtained amniotic fluid from the analysis of chromosomes, enzymes, and DNA. So a pregnant woman over the age of 35 years are candidates for amniocentesis to detect chromosomal abnormalities in the fetus. Amniocentesis can be also used to determine the maturity of a fetal lungs or the cause of a fever in the mother. So amniocentesis is usually performed between the 16th week and 21st weeks of pregnancy. So here you can see CVS is performed earlier than amniocentesis. So yeah, this image here can show you a very clear picture how does the amniocentesis is being used. Okay, you can see here the ultrasound scanner. The one is the first one which we into the mother's womb and take out the amniotic fluid to check whether the fluid, the fluid there is got any disease or not. So that's how it does take place, amniocentesis. So moving on to next, I will tell you why prenatal diagnosis is very important. The next slide. Okay, here in this slide, I will tell you there are a few more. Okay, first of all, confirm the pregnancy and its location. So why they're gonna do this prenatal diagnosis? To confirm the pregnancy and its location. Okay, whether the people is really pregnant or not, and where it is located, is it in the mother's womb or not? And then determine your baby's gestational age. Like, okay, sometimes when somebody is pregnant, we'll ask how many months, 1 month, 2 months. So to know that, that's how we're going to do that with the prenatal diagnosis. And then confirm the number of babies. Sometimes we have twins, triplets, quadruplets, and so on. So to confirm the number of baby, we will do the